need to wake the computer up a little bit early, Chris.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that.
That's the problem. The problem is I'm not awake all that early. All right. Chris Anderson is with us, White Township Manager. Our conversation is brought to you by Marcus and Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Usually when we start our conversations with you, it's about what roads getting worked on, what traffic signals are getting repaired, all those sorts of things. But let's start with something different this time. You've got an emergency services expo coming up in White Township?
We do. So put the date on the calendar. Saturday, June 29th from 10 to 2, we have an emergency services expo happening at the White Township Recreation Complex out there. What we've done is we've invited just all the local heroes here: the state police, borough police, citizens, ambulance, fire association, Creekside Fire, IRMC, Life Flight. Those are just a few, but it's going to be a day full of demonstrations. There's going to be information, some speaking. There's going to be maybe a surprise helicopter visit, but lots of good stuff. Look for some print materials, some advertising taking place here through the radio and through the Gazette. But we're hoping for a good event that continues for years ahead here.
Yeah, well, it's important too when you stop and think about it, because there's great information available for young and old, and kids get exposed to maybe a little up close with an ambulance or a police officer, and they learn about what they do, and maybe had some misconceptions dispelled, and maybe folks of a working age might find themselves with an interest there, and of course older folks would be understandably interested in those services too.
Yeah, and hopefully open the door for some future employees or some future volunteers. It's always helps to expose that.
Yeah. So if we're putting it on our calendars again, it's in June.
Yeah, it's Saturday, June 29th from 10 to 2
at the S&T Bank Arena at the White Township Recreation Complex.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so that's a good place to start. Now let's get back to the roads and the SOAR projects and all of those different things. Yeah. Certainly at the beginning of the construction season, you've got a lot going on. The Martin Road thing is going on right now.
Yeah, so we have Martin Road. I think today and tomorrow, I think we have some road closures from 9 to 3.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 6 stormwater cross pipes to repair there. So our goal is to get those all repaired and then get ready for the pavers to come in. We did issue the paving contract, and Martin Road is part of that bid package. So the first step is get the repairs done and then let them come in and do a final overlay. So that road will be pretty much brand new.
Martin Road has gotten a lot of work here lately in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's such a long road for the township that it was hard for us to pave it all at one time. So we did a portion last year, and then we'll have this portion here this year.
Yeah, nicely done. And you've got Indian Springs Road. There's ongoing work there.
Yeah, so we had the sanitary sewer project a couple weeks ago. We do apologize that project took a little longer than what we would like to see, with some of the flagging and traffic delays. But today we do have a contractor in there doing some repair work on the paving, just doing a couple patches. That work will be complete today, so that should be opened up, ready to go. No issues here. It's moving ahead, but and there's just 2 small patches. They'll put those in and put the paint the new lines on and be done with it.
That road and every road, of course, was subject to last week's storms, and storms leave behind their own certain little signature, don't they?
Yeah, you get the washouts. Here in the township, we get a lot of leaves washing over the catch basins, and we do our rounds. We know where the trouble areas are that we got to go, and we pick the leaves off the grates, make sure the stormwater's flowing. Sanitary sewer, just keep an eye on the pump stations. Some of our manholes, some of our collector lines in the low areas. So it was busy last week with the rain, and it's anytime you get that much rain, you always got to be on your toes.
So they'll be cleaning up after some of that storm damage. And I'm sure that if folks have something that they notice that the township could get to work on, that you'd appreciate a call.
Yep. You can call the office, 724-463-8585 or WTinfo@whitetownship.org.
Yeah.
And I would say the crew's got most of the issues cleaned up by the end of last week. Maybe some leftovers yesterday, but today, as we discussed, Martin Road and getting ready for paving.
When you get out onto those roads and you have an event such as you had last week, maybe you get a look as well at some roads that didn't do so well over the winter, and maybe a pothole or two has cropped up.
Yeah.
And you'd like to call on those too, folks have concerns.
And one thing that the last couple of years we've gotten away from is some of the road ditching. And what that does is the vegetation grows out to the edge of the roadway. Doesn't allow the water to drain off as good as you'd like to see it. So we have an aggressive ditching schedule here in the next month or so. Get that vegetation, get that dirt knocked off the edge of the roads, and allow the water to sheet flow, get it off the roadway, because a lot of the potholes, cracks, come from that water laying on top of the asphalt, getting under the edges.
Yeah.
Get that water away from the road into the ditches, and get a few more years out of these roads.
How did we do over the winter? More, less, about the same as usual?
We did pretty good. A couple potholes, popped up here and there. One of the major sections is Plaza Drive over by, or Plaza Road over by Walmart. We have a repair schedule for that road. We're going to dig out some of the bad areas, and then that's part of our paving schedule this year too. So that's one of the worst sections, and that'll be addressed here in the next month or two.
Isn't it amazing how much work is required for a simple road?
Oh yeah. Dig it out, put the base in, then you got to put base asphalt in, then you put the top coat of asphalt in, then you got to seal coat the cracks or put the tar on the cracks and repave the lines. It's a process.
And
it is.
And drainage is such an important part of the whole mix. My goodness, if that water doesn't have any place to go, it's just going to cause all kind of problems.
There comes your potholes, yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing.
And of course, when you have box culverts and things of that nature, those things need to be inspected, make sure that they're clear too.
Yeah, so we do, so we have a crew. They have kind of the routes that they plow and maintain. So a lot of them know the trouble areas. So we take those routes, and everybody, they get out of their vehicles. They do inspections. We have camera equipment. If there's a plug in the line, we have the capabilities of cameraing that, seeing what's there, and then have a jet that we can flush that line out. So we try to keep a pretty clean system.
Going to do some work on Apache Drive?
Yeah, we did issue a notice to proceed letter to Shadco. They plan to get started here maybe the end of May. That includes about 2,000 feet of stormwater line replacement and 20 or so catch basins. So it'll be a busy construction project there on Apache. So
spring of the year is here, and it has its signs always. One is you can smell the grass. When people are mowing their grass, it's one of the best smells in the whole universe. But in order for you to get that smell, you got to mow the grass.
Yeah, just a reminder, we do have a high grass ordinance. So if anybody's out there, just make sure the grass is cut. And then also, if they're out and about, picking up yard waste, we do have the spring yard cleanup coming up. I think that's May 20th. The week prior to Memorial Day, if anybody has any yard waste, garden waste, things of that, we'll pick that up. Just make sure it's out the edge of the road.
I was amazed at how quickly they were able to play baseball on the field after last week's storms.
Yeah.
That's a testament to the folks who keep those fields in good shape.
Yeah, drainage. We've done some drainage improvements out of the field, so it's good to be playing baseball. I've actually had a pretty good spring, so minus last week, but before that there was some nice weather. So hopefully that continues. I think we have some couple local little league programs that the field's got some water damage. They're going to jump on a couple of our park fields this week to help them out with some practice time. But fields are in pretty good shape. Soccer fields are being painted. I think their final one was painted yesterday, so we're ready for spring sports.
Yeah, it's interesting. We think of the White Township Recreation Complex and what a great facility that is, both with S&T Bank Arena, the fields, the tennis courts, the basketball courts, all of the different things that are there. And they're wonderful, but that's just one of those recreation areas in White Township. You've got a bunch of them that you're maintaining.
Yeah, we do. We have we have softball fields, we have pickleball courts, basketball courts, playgrounds. White's Woods. We have a big recreation footprint here.
Yeah. All of the parks are. It's amazing how much has to be done, and it's not a one-day thing. Once you You mow this week, you're mowing next week too, and in the springtime maybe you're mowing twice.
Yeah, and restrooms are being open this week. You have the threat of still freezing weather here the last couple of days.
That's
so
true.
restrooms are open. Leaf pickup, playground equipment inspections, new mulch put down. It's certainly a busy time of year.
Yeah. Great time of year though.
It is, that's for sure.
Really is. Okay, so all of that going on, and meanwhile you've got your usual meeting schedule. What's up?
Yeah, pretty light agenda tonight for the Planning Commission meeting that starts this evening, and then we have tomorrow White Township Supervisors. Always a full agenda there. That's 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
It wasn't a light schedule last month, so we can sit back a little bit this
Yeah,
month.
you're right.
That was a busy schedule last month. All right, well, Chris, thanks so much for coming by. Update us on what's going on in White Township. And again, if folks have concerns about anything within the township, it's an easy call.
It is.
And we'll be happy to address whatever the problem is.
Yep, we see what we can do.
Chris Anderson, White Township Manager, with us this morning. It's Indiana in the morning, and it's WCCS.
Thanks, Todd.
Hey, it's
Thank you,
Clint
Chris.
Van Deelen here from GCES. Since
Who keeps
2010,
calling?